November. Jeez, feels like -5. Feels like Siberia. 8 weeks now to Arc of Attrition 100. 100 miles along Cornish coastline in January, where the brutal coastline will try to break you, where the weather will try to kill you. This week I'm sharing tips on how to stay warm that actually work. They work for me anyway. And some lesser known ones that many people haven't heard of. So stick around so you don't become a hypothermic ice lolly. Your body is a furnace till it isn't. When you're moving, your body produces crazy levels of heat. 70 to 80% of your energy goes to warmth. That's why you see athletes in skimpy shorts and tops running in -10. But when you slow down for a pee, you run out of fuel, shivering doesn't work anymore, then you're in trouble. And your next stop might be hypothermia. I've seen people in aid stations looking in a really bad way, very close to that. And I've nearly been there a few times as well. I was really cold a little while back. When I stopped for food, I got cold. I had soup, but standing around I got cold. And I put gloves on, the mitts. I couldn't get them on, my hands were cold, numb. Try to get mitts on when your hands are numb. And then you've got to try to get the lecky gloves on over the top. That's all a bit of a mission. When I started, even with gloves and good socks, my feet and my hands were cold. That's because my body, it shuts down the blood, vasoconstriction, or something like that. It says to the extremities, sorry lads, no blood for you. You can turn blue. In really bad conditions, your hands, your fingers, your extremities can drop to the air temperature, and that's when you get frostbite. And if you had frostbite before, you're twice as more likely to get it again. Super cold and barely warm. Everything's closed down, but it's bearable. My fingers are nearly cold. I'm all nice and dry though. Although I'm like barely warm, I'm all dry. It's a good base. From here I know I can get warm. As soon as I start feeling the heat building, I know it's time to drop the zip. I want to be warm, but I don't want to sweat. I don't want my gear to get wet. I've got a steep coming up. I might even lose the jacket before the steep. Steep done. I'm out of the jacket. There's a lot of standing around right at the beginning, and I don't like getting cold, so I'll wear a jacket and I have my layer system on. I might have all of my layer system on, and I see people that are barely wearing anything and they look pretty cold. Just before the start, 5 minutes before, I'll take my layers off, I'm ready to go. I don't see the point of standing around for an hour cold, but I see people doing that. Have a place to put your layers that's really convenient. I don't want to take the layer off because I've got to take my backpack off, I've got to do this, or I don't want to put a layer on because I've got to stop and I'm going to lose a place. Solomon 12-litre pack, there's a little place, a little pouch here. Perfect for storing your top layer, maybe your gloves and hat. And then the other thing is if you're wearing a good belt, I mentioned my Louisville belt earlier, you get loads of stuff in there. So I could get a jacket in there, get my gloves in there. I can drop down the layer, add a layer, moving the zip, doing everything I can to control my temperature. I don't want to get too hot, I don't want to get wet. I don't want to be cold. The Goldilocks syndrome. Yeah, you just want to be right, don't you? I read about this vapor barrier, wearing latex gloves or plastic bag even over your running gloves or over your socks to create this vapor barrier to keep your feet warm in extreme conditions, extreme wet conditions. I haven't been in a race that I've needed to do that, but I will keep that in mind. Just come out for 33k. Finished the run. I'm wearing the kit that I'm probably going to wear on race day, depending on the weather. If it's colder, I will wear maybe an additional layer, which I will be carrying with me. So I've got this Merino wool core compress like vest thing, and if it was really super cold I'd probably wear a long sleeve version. I got the fleece this on fleece, which is super light. It comes in at like 130 grams. It gives me the same sort of warmth as a normal fleece, half the weight. It's really nice. The only drawback is it doesn't really protect you against the wind, so you need a windbreaker. I recommend my waterproof shell for that as well, so I've got an option. And then on my legs I'm wearing shorts and 3/4 lengths. Lesson known tips, get in the hand warmers that you can, common hand warmers that you can get off of Amazon and so forth, like they're pretty cheap. And it's a little bit inconvenient to put them inside your gloves. Certainly inside your shoes, it's going to be uncomfortable. But what you can do is you can put them on your wrist and on your ankles. Warms the blood up on the way to the extremities, so that works really well. Not only will it warm up the end of your fingertips, it'll warm up your hands as well. Nice sun today. There's sun behind me here. It's beautiful sun. Yeah, so you're going into today's station. If you're wet, remember to swap out your top. That's going to help you stay warm. Keeping your knees warm, you should run more efficiently. Your stride, your form will be better, because your skin is quite thin around your knees. They will get cold quite easily, and therefore your muscles will not work as efficiently. It can impact your form. So wearing 3/4 lengths on a cold day is a good idea. Even if you don't really like the feel, it should make you more efficient in the long run. Talking about the shoes, like you can put a bag on your feet to keep your feet dry, but these DrymaxSocks have got a layering system built into them to do a similar job, 3 layers, and keep the moisture away from your feet, help your feet stay warm even when they're wet. That works really well. And with a combination of a WideToeBox shoe, which allows plenty of air through the shoe, it helps the feet dry out quicker. I found that it works really well if your feet do get wet. With your race pack, you're going to have warm layers there in a dry zip bag, right? But put them close to your back. They will keep you warm, rather than putting something there that is not thermal. Gloves are really important to keep your hands warm. Mitts, I think, are a little bit more efficient. They both have their positives and negatives. The mitts are very difficult. It's very difficult to do anything while you're wearing mitts. I find them very difficult to put on and off, take on and off. The gloves are much more functional, a little bit colder. So yeah, I prefer the gloves, and what I will do is I've got over mitts, waterproof over mitts. So they say that on the mandatory kit list that you need to have 2 pairs of waterproof gloves. Well, I'll have 2 over mitts and normal gloves. Those grip grab gloves, which are really lightweight, quite thin, don't really offer that much warmth, but they're good in the wind, and they're lightweight, which is really nice. And I can still use my phone, and I'm easy to still unzip my jacket with these. Are very easy, lightweight. I've got a beanie and I've got a running cap. I'll have a spare beanie in my drop bag. I have this snood. It's pretty good. Can pull this up. The training this week, the volume is up about 5% on the previous week, and the intensity of the harder sessions has increased. So my Kenyan hills, before it was 5 hard efforts, now 7. I've added in an additional hard session of hill sprints. I got my strides, got a base run in there, a recovery run, night run that I did yesterday, Friday. Coming up next week, intensity increasing, volume increasing. I think there's a 5-hour run, a 5 and a 2-hour run booked for next week. Remember to like and subscribe, comments below. Appreciate your support. Until the next one.